Hello subs, nice of you to come back and see me. Today I'm going to be scrapping this washing machine. It's a really old one. And I've got the 3D printer, so I shall be printing out a knife and casting that. Nice day up on the roof. It's nice when it's all screwed together. Comes apart so easy. Look at the size of that monster. No wonder these things are so heavy. And that's the reason why I'm putting it apart up on the roof here. This isn't my place, this is someone else's. It's just so heavy, carrying it down the narrow stairs. Just dangerous. But they're happy to let me scrap it up here. Now this being an old unit, it's got nothing computerised in it. So there's tons of wire, tons of terminals. Look, everything there is mechanical. It's just falling apart in my hands, which is even better. That's loose. That's not good. Look at that wire, there's so much in it. And that's the underside. Another great lump of concrete. And that big old motor. I shan't be taking that apart today. I'll be saving that because I've got to cut that open and whack it with a hammer quite a bit. I won't be doing that up here. This is lovely. A few screws just to take off the back. And that is the only piece of aluminium in the whole construction. That little wheel there, or big wheel I should say. can't get that motor out. I'm going to have to drag the whole lot out. That's a nice little brass nut bolt and washer there. And more wires. Nice. Now I want that piece of alley. But there is just no way that is going to come undone. But absolutely no way. I had to smash it off in the end. Give it up. Use the hammer. And unfortunately, all the good luck with the screws run out. And I'm having to rip out the spot welds. It's not too bad at the top here. But it becomes a bit of a pain when you get further down. Eventually I managed to do it. But it was stuck in by the rubber, so I just cut it out. It will come off. Told you. That's a heavy old beastie, that is. Just hope that's not aluminium windings. That would make me so upset. And that's the total, and a bit more wire there. I've stripped most of the wire already, got that pile. See the black one? That was an earth wire. That was not good. They are not meant to be burnt like that. Absolutely tons of end connectors. And I'll show you the method I use for stripping this old wire. Get a start and then just keep the blade really flat. And I suppose about 8 times out of 10 it goes okay. But you do get funny ones where you cut into it and that's a pain. There's a lot of faffing around. You wouldn't want to do that professionally. But for a micro scrapper like myself, that's it's fine. Takes a long time, but it don't matter. Hundreds of connectors. Just checking for... No, they're all brass, so that's good. Ripping them out. Each one's got a piece of silver on it. Little dot there. Each one doesn't weigh much, but they all add up. That, I think's a electric motor. Well, it's got a couple of wires coming out, so might have some copper in it. Just rip it open and have a look. A bit more force needed. A lot more force needed, actually. In the end, what I did, I just cut through the top of the black plastic there. And even when I'd done that, it was still a right bitch to get off. It was just not designed to be taken apart. Ever. There's a nice bit of copper inside though. And that is packed so tight, I thought there was something solid in there. Some sort of little pump. With these you just rip out that copper. Test it first though. I've come across so many that have got aluminium or iron cores to the wires. So give them a good scrape and use the eyeglass. But it's all good. Just use the little snips there and just rip it out. Got quite a bit of weight to it. I say I won't do that one today. I've got to cut it and bash it, and it's already at night time. Let's have a little way up, see what we got. Yeah, just over 300 grams of copper. And that's my total copper at the moment. Loads of connectors, but some of that's brass, so that will end up in the brass tub once I cut the silver bits off though. And that's my terminal jar. I've got my 3D printer, it actually arrived, and I'm doing a huntsman's knife. Thank you, Boa Martin from thingiverse.com. I haven't learned how to program the thing yet, of course. That's going to take a while. But there are a few up in thingiverse.com that are in 2 parts, which are ideal for casting. And this is just one of them. Yep, it's all new cat. The serrations on the blade there, there's no way they're coming out. So if I was going to design one, I'd design it flat and have to just cut them in myself. And this is actually the second thing which I printed out. The first one was a test piece of Buddha. This is all a great novelty to me. Snap off the bits you don't want. And there you go. One 2-part knife all ready for moulding. Let's get down there now, shall we? I've already done some other bits and pieces. Some boring stuff, you don't want to see that lot. I'm just mixing up all those dry bits. Oops. Yeah, right. I think that was because there was too much of those dry bits there. You see them? You really don't want them in contact with your work. It's alright if they're in the middle of the main body. And on the first cast of the weekend, of course they've just soaked up all the water from the other bits of sand. I just got to be a bit more careful, and I did remember to buy a sieve. Trouble is, the holes are really small, and wet sand really doesn't want to go through a sieve like that. It's a real pain. Just not really working very well. You need to get something with bigger holes. That helps. But it does seem like a bit of a waste of time, though. up as normal. Give it a gentle pat down first, because I don't want to be moving the pattern around. Then we get a bit firmer after I've gone over it once. And top it up to the top. It didn't have any locating points, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to be careful how I put the sand down on this first layer. Trouble is, my hands just aren't big enough to hold it properly. Well, that'll work. And carefully tamp it down. It's looking good so far. Go. I'm still not remembering to orientate it right. I'll get there one day. Now that funny old plank setup might look a bit rubbish, but it makes it really easy to adjust the angles, or levels I should say. is one wobbly pot. I'm going to lose it if I'm not careful. Good move. Well, I'm happy with that, and surprisingly, nothing's caught fire, which is quite unusual for me. So, while it cools down, I'll pick some of these big old beetroots, and I make beetroot wine out of these, so doesn't matter if they're all big and woody. Let's have a look. You're the first to see, as always. Well, it doesn't look too bad, does it? Even some of the serrations on the teeth have come out now. But disappointment, I've got shrinkage on the handle there. I shall have to do it again. Never mind. And what I've started doing now, because you get all that hard, lumpy, dried sand, break it up, smack it down. Doing that makes quite a good difference. And that's not real vodka. Oh, that's a bit windy today. Well, this time I'm using the spinner as a feeder. Looking good. Yep, I know it pops. Marvellous. Looks like a pretty good kiln, pretty good pour, I should say. We'll find out what the cast is like. Now, well, it all looks good, but we'll have to wait until we see the other side. And the other side is just fine, thank you very much. We've got a little aluminium left over. And there's still quite a lot of stuff left in there. So I give it a stir around. I've got this much more alley out. But look at that ash. That is just terrible. That's basically dirty greenhouse, that is. So we're back inside. I've got to do a bit of work to improve that. Serrations come out on one side but not the other, but I'm not worried about them. I wasn't expecting them to come out. They're great, those little old sandpaper wheels. That's a flat disc that I was using, and it just exploded. I don't think it was an original Dremel one, mind you. It just goes to show the crap you can buy. And they say it's suitable for Dremels, and it's just not. But I've always got safety glasses on whenever I do any of that. Even so, if it smacks you in the face, those broken bits, it would not be nice. So I'm using no, it's 120 grit this is. And it rolls up quite well to do the those grips. And the reason I do it on an old towel there is just to keep all the dust from going all over the floor. A bit more precise work with the needle files. Yeah, don't poke yourself with a needle file. It hurts. They're called needle files for a reason. After the 120 grit, I used I think it was 350 grit. That was dry sand. Now we're down to the wet and dry. And then finish off with 2,500. I could have done a bit more work on this unit, but it's not the bestest of ones. You know, it hasn't come out that great. It's quite smooth. It's come up quite nicely. They're just the polishing stage. And there you go. I shall add that to my little collection of things I've made. It's not bad, is it? It's not bad. You wouldn't want to actually use it for anything. You couldn't cut cheese with it. But it's nice and it feels nice. And a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to everyone who got this far. Thank you very much.